Well, hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Foxshire, on the show. It's Juicy Bear, GB, and the legend that is the Bridgeman. How we doing, gentlemen?
Good evening, friend. Good evening.
Very well, Ox. It's good to be on with the Three Amigos.
Three Amigos. Actually, a big good evening to yourself, Foxshire, and the techie boys in the background, and to the two guys that are going to carry me tonight, Juicy and GB. To all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
Well, what a risk assessment in this carrying Bridgeman. So what we've done is he doesn't bring his wallet. It's a lot easier.
Very good.
How are you, Juicy?
Yes, very well, my friend. Very well. Basking in a enjoyable performance last night. A vintage Rangers display. Beautiful.
Vintage. Right. GB, how you doing, mate?
Great, mate. Great going into work the day where we skipped my step. We happy face on me.
Mrs. GB sorted you out, did she?
No. Rangers sorted me out, mate. Rangers sorted me out.
Don't fall for it, son.
That makes a big difference. Right, well, Bridgeman, what was your thoughts watching that last night? Were you happy? Were you angry? Were you thinking what could have been, what should have been? Or were you just delighted with the performance, mate?
Well, number one, I'm delighted with the performance and the score. Obviously, the score was excellent. But, you know, we can all look back and look at different things. And I would say last night we really missed out on an absolute thumping for Hibs. That could have been 8, 9, 10 last night, easily for us. But I'm delighted with the way they played, and I'm delighted with the score.
Yeah, I thought it was a great performance. You've got, listen, we come on here and we talk about individual games, individual players, and we slate them at times because we're frustrated, angry. There's players we like, players we don't like. But if you're critiquing fairly, Juicy, you've got to say that was a great team performance with some stunning individual performances.
Oh, of course it was, Oxford. And one or two of our players, such as Mr. Kent, who we know isn't a fantastic finisher, but his positioning was fantastic. And if the boy could finish, Bridges right, would have been 6, 7, 8. But it's the way that we played as well and the chances that we created. And that's what you want. And that's what you want for the rest of the season. That's what you want in pre-season. And that's what you want for next season, because it's about building that consistency now, Ox. No point in crying about what's happened previously. We're still on a good run, still playing well. And, you know, I think the new manager's done well in the main.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he made a tweak last night, GB. He moved Sakala deliberate to the left. And I think Cholak and Kent flitted in and out because at times it looked as if Kent was the centre forward, but he always had a deliberate tactic there that ultimately paid off for us because we won comfortably, GB.
It was, I mean, we have questioned the tactics of the manager, and last night he'd done that wee tweak, and it was outstanding, Ox. I mean, don't get me wrong, as soon as Hibs scored last night, I was shaking my head and stuff like that, but it just, we stuck to the plan, stuck to the game plan, and like I says, we've produced probably the best football I've seen in a good couple of years last night, performance-wise anyway. It was just, like I says, it was just great to see us back to that silky way, and like I says, I think Cholak led the line really well. Ox, I think he helped Kent. I think he was guiding Sakala as well beside him last night. And it just shows you after 2 games. I mean, the Kilmarnock game, Cholak was talking to Fashion about like how he can feed them in and stuff like that. And there we go. We go into the Hibs game, and last night Fashion was, I mean, that boy put in for Fashion put in for Cholak's goal was just outstanding. You know what I mean? So it just shows you the wee partnerships that's building up just because the manager's got the tactics bang on.
Aye, big difference. Right, I'm going to ask you your man of the match. It's interesting. I just want your man of the match. No comments. Bridgeman.
Ryan Kent for me.
Brian Kent. Juicy?
Mr. Todd Cantwell.
GB?
Cholak.
And I went for Ryan Jack. Does that not show you, Juicy, how good a team performance it was?
Exactly, Oxcher. Because I don't think any of us would really disagree with anyone else's opinion there. It's great that we've selected 4 players, but I think we all know that all 4 played particularly well. And a special mention to Jack, actually, because I know amongst some of the fan base, he's a little bit polarising, but he was very strong last night. And the only concern you have with Jack Ox is the consistency and how often can we play him, how many games in a row, etc., etc. Well, he certainly made us stronger stuff than Mr. Ruth. So really pleasing. But yeah, 4 players there that I couldn't really disagree with anyone's reasoning as to why they would pick each of those guys for man of the match.
People could have went for Sakala as well, and I know he was on last night. I think it was Alistair, and he was raving about it. That's unusual after match shows. People are raging. He was raving about Raskin, so it's just everybody sees the game slightly different. GB.
Aye, Ox, but I think like Juicy there made a great point. It is really hard probably for last night to pick a man of the match. There is certain players that kind of made us tick a lot better, but I mean, think about it. McGregor done a couple of really important saves for us in that first half as well to kind of keep it the 2-1. I felt Borna and Tav. I mean, our captain last night, I think he had one of the best games I've seen all season for him. He looked more like himself, and just a total all-round team performance. Especially, do you know what highlighted it for me? See that 4th goal? See, there was no prima donnas. There was no somebody being selfish and wanting to take the goal themselves. It was a well-worked team goal, and they all fought about each other in each pass. And like I says, it finally dropped to Cholak and they put it away. I mean, that was just, like I says, if they didn't think about each other in that bit of play, they wouldn't have got the goal. And it was just really good to see it all together. And plus as well, it was great to see the manager smiling at that point because he knew that he had Hibs by the throat. You know what I mean? It was great to see a big smile on his face.
I mean, they were chasing shadows, Bridgman. I think that performance last night, over the 90 minutes, was a better performance than Tynecastle.
I agree with that. I think that performance last night took me back to the heady days of the Europa League. We put in some absolutely spectacular performances and we come away with some good games and good results. And that's what we got last night. Because let's make no bones about it, Hibs always raise their game, and they raised it up quite well. And when they scored their first goal, and absolutely they were up, and they thought it was going to be easy. And probably within 5 minutes, we got an equaliser. They're quite incredible. They're just quite incredible. I honestly thought that, like we were talking about man of the match, you could add another 2 or 3 names onto the ones that we had. You could put in Cantwell. You could put in what's his name? Oh, for God's sake, gone. Tavernier, sorry. Tavernier did a fantastic game. Best game I've seen him playing for a while last night. And Borna Barisic too. So there was lots of players that played really well, and they were in a good team, and they probably all realised they were a good team. To be part of a good team, and everybody that's played football knows when you're playing as part of a good team, anything can happen. Tails are up and away you go. And we could, as I say, we could have romped that. As many as you want to pick, we could have romped it easily. But great to see, great performance.
Okay, mate. We didn't have the greatest of starts, Juicy. Obviously, the own goal with Connor, right? We'll put that down as one of these things. Even though when I looked at it back today, I wasn't overly impressed with Jack and Raskin at the back post. I think they failed to go with their runners, a pretty planned move, but they'll learn for that. So when we lose the goal, then we started playing decent stuff. I thought Sakala at that particular time looked our most dangerous player. And I think it was him that played the ball through to Kent, who then miscontrolled it, then cut back nicely and get brought down. Stonewaller penalty, Juicy.
Yes, Ox. And one thing I keep saying about our man Sakala is We don't know what he's going to do next. He doesn't know what he's going to do next. So what hope do the opposition have? He's very unpredictable. He can be a bit frustrating, as we know, and his finishing, like Kent's, can be a little bit off sometimes. But I think he is more consistent than Kent, and his positioning is fantastic. His pace is fantastic, and I still think he's fully deserving of the starting place, Ox. But yeah, it was good play, good build-up play, forces the foul, and gets us right back into the match again. And and it was a pressure pen because you missed that, still 1-0 down. Very emotional night. At Easter Road. Difficult position to come back from then. So it was really important that he scored that pen.
Aye, we get the penalty, GB, and we're starting playing well. We're making opportunities, and then we come down the left again. Sakala puts it in, and he puts a ball in that I think we've only got 2 players that would score that goal consistently in our squad. One of them being Cholak, and the other being, believe it or not, Scotty Arfield. I don't think that's a Morelos finish. I just think it's a kind of Cholak goal, if that makes sense, GB.
Makes total sense, Ox. I mean, I watched the game back myself yesterday, the day, and see when you watch Cholak's starting position when Fashion's running down the wing ready to cross it in, the guy just knows exactly where he's going, and he knows that he's hitting that first time right in the back of the net. Just the vision that he's got. We've seen it, Ox, at the start of the season, the goals he'd been scoring and stuff like that, and we even seen it against ourselves when he played against us. I mean, I seen him that night, and I was dying for us to sign him after that, and it just proves now he's getting his chance. I'm really pleased with the manager that he's taking a punt on him. And I hope he is going to be consistent and keep him up front, because he has just gave us something totally different. He's very, very dangerous, Ox. I mean, you could give him half a chance, and I think he could still put it away. But what a beautiful goal it was. I mean, Fashion's cross was right on the money, and you just needed a top striker to bang it away.
Just a touch. All right, I'll tell you what we'll do if it's all right with you chaps. I'm glad you mentioned them. We mentioned them. Let's hear for your striker, Big Chola.
Antonio, 2 goals, a 4-1 victory. You must be delighted by that.
Yeah, I'm really happy for that, but I have to say it was amazing team performance. What we showed today away here, also with the amazing support of the fans, was a great game, and it's a nice feeling to finish the game like that.
Just talk us through your 2 goals, 2 that any striker would be proud of.
Yeah, I mean, the first goal was a great ball into the space to Fashion. He made the run, and it was. I make like my striker movement, try to get to the front post. 1-touch finish, amazing. Second goal again, Fashion crossed the ball into the box, and I tried to make a clear finish into the corner, and the ball went inside. And for me as a striker, it couldn't be better. But again, what the team, what effort we did today was amazing.
Yeah, the quality the team showed in attacking areas tonight must be a delight to play within that.
Yeah, but I think it was everything about intensity from the whole team, how we gained the ball, how we, with what kind of speed we went into the front area. And it was amazing relationships on the pitch. And we have to stick on that. And on the Sunday we have the next game.
How much are you enjoying playing under the manager now?
Yeah, it's an amazing feeling, of course, it's hard to come back after an injury. It doesn't matter how long you're out, but I wanted to fight back as fast as possible, and now I enjoy every minute. I want to earn every minute I'm on the pitch, and I want to show him this day by day. I'm really thankful about the trust he's giving to me, and I always want to try to give it back. So I'm really happy and delighted with the 2 goals today, and I want to continue like that.
And it's all about continuing this momentum into Sunday and into the Scottish Cup.
Yeah, that's it. We have 2 big games before the national team break, and this one we want to have successful 2 games. So we want to win both games, and then we can work on for the upcoming and rest of the season.
When I watch Cholak, this new Bridgeman, I mean, he looks fitter, his movement's better, maybe even better so than at the start of the season. What I also see is I see him try to direct people and getting involved. that I didn't see at the start of the season. So fair play to the big man. He's getting more involved.
Yeah, indeed. He's happy. The most important thing, he's happy. His confidence is coming back. And as I said a wee bit earlier, playing, he can see the players, all the players, from the goalkeeper right up to himself. He can see the forums there. And I think those two, young Cantwell and then Rastring or something like that, they've made a big impact on our team. So you've got a bit of pace in your midfield. And that's the kind of thing he's looking for. People with a bit of pace that can push the ball very quickly to him, you know. And I think when you mix it up with Ryan Kent, he sees rightly too that he's got a really good team here and he's in among a good squad and he's got a good chance to go all the way as Rangers #1 centre forward. Great chance. And I wish him well on it. I hope he keeps it going.
Mm-hmm. The big thing is we've got him fit, Juicy here. He looks fit.
Yeah, because it was out for quite a while, and it's not easy when a striker's missing matches, especially when they were on good form prior to the injuries. And we know that we've had to play a certain way. Got to get the ball to his feet a little bit more. But it was a good observation you made earlier. He is adapting his style of play as well to play in the system, and we know that a fully fit Cholak, is good finisher. His movement's good, and hopefully he can have a sustained run in the team because some of our other strikers have struggled with that. So we're going to be very reliant on him, and we don't know what's going to happen with Morelos and Kent in the summer, but we know Cholak's here. So for me, it makes him the top man because of that.
Good points you make there. Good points you make. So we got the goals, and I thought in the first half, our best players were the front players, but I thought Jack drove us into the game and gave them the platform. In the second half, we scored the goals pretty rapid, the 2 goals pretty rapid, and at times Cantwell was unplayable. I'd just like to see him just make more killer passes as he grows into the Rangers jersey. No criticism, just an observation, GB.
Ox, I think his position that he's been gained is I'm not saying new to him, but like for what I've seen of him, he was more kind of an attacking player like Ken and stuff like that in his previous club. So I don't know if he's still trying to get used to the position the manager's asking him to play in, but is it saying the new? I mean, the past couple of games he has grown into it. I mean, his defensive display last night was immense. I mean, he can win the ball back, and then when he is driving forward, that, like you say, that's a bit that I would just like to see a wee bit more. He's just, again, it'll come with understanding. Sometimes I think maybe he's ahead of the game, ahead of the players, if you mean what he's thinking. And it's just, again, as Cholak's mentioned, building their relationships. I mean, there were some great relationships last night in the park, and I think Cantwell will be that far away, because the more they perform like that, then he'll be more crisper, and the players will become more understanding of what his vision is and stuff like that. But
aye. You get to know players and you see, yeah, great point you make, great point. What's your views on Cantwell, Bridgman? Because obviously one of your all-time greats, if not your all-time greatest, was a silky midfielder. I'm not saying he's at the same level, but you like that kind of player, Bridge?
Love it, yeah. I think Cantwell's going to be an absolute bonanza for us as a Rangers come. A wonderful. That's what I've seen him. He's brilliant. Started off very slowly a few weeks ago, and he's came back in, and he's pierced the resistance of his last night. I thought he was outstanding. Again, among many players outstanding. I think he would have tracked, particularly second half. He was really, really good. His possession play, his fighting for the ball, and his deliveries were really good. And obviously, sometimes they dropped off a wee bit, but really, I think he's going to be probably the best buy we've had for a wee while. And that may change in the summertime when we buy other players, But obviously, I say to everybody on the panel here, obviously he's got to keep it going. All of them have got to keep it going. If they can retain and run with the performances like last night, if they can reach those heights of play, there'll be very few teams will be able to beat us. Not even take a goal off us. Just fantastic.
I think he's an entertainer, Juicy, when the way he gets by a man and he's always looking to get involved, he's willing to take it in tight corners. He's got that X factor.
Oh yes, he has. He has, and my only concern, it's like with about any Rangers player who's playing on the pitch at the moment, is that just can we keep them fit? Because it's been a big worry all season, hasn't it? And we know that he's had some injury issues prior to joining us, but since he's getting, looks like he's up to full fitness now, doesn't he, guys? We've taken him in sort of slowly, building him up, and you can tell he's a baller. And I know it was a couple of seasons ago, but if you recall when Norwich beat Man City, I think it was the season they got relegated. They get relegated every season they're in the Prem, but in that one particular game, they beat them 3-2, and he was an absolute standout. And you think, okay, you can apply that level. If a manager can keep you consistently playing to something in and around that kind of level, you're going to be really good in the Scottish Premiership. And hopefully we can see that.
All right, chaps, if it's all right with you, we'll get these phone lines open. I hope all the Bears are happy. We're talking about last night's game. They might have other things they want to talk about it, but ultimately last night's game is the main part of the show this evening. So let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Hi, great. I gave Ryan Jack the man of the match. I thought he was a most consistent player of the night, even though when I watched the goal back, I wasn't pleased with his efforts, but I still thought he gave the others the platform to play. I'm not saying he was the best footballer on the park. He didn't have the tricks and flair and the turns of Cantwell. He didn't have the pace and the absolute madness of Fashion Sakala. We've seen it all last night. He scored a goal with a great touch, made one for Cholak, and then I think it was about 20 minutes in, he just fell out, Bridgeman.
The one for me with Sakala was the goal he scored. And the ball was bad clearance with their goalkeeper. And I thought Ryan Jack, fantastic header, right into the right place. He actually dummied them. Went to the left and then went to the right, and away he went. Took two paces and smashed the ball. Unstoppable stuff. What a wonderful reward for that guy for the play he had. Because he was, as you say, a bit mental at times, but my God Almighty, he didn't have pester life out of him. Didn't have to. Well supported by a lot of players around him. Well played at Fashion Sakala.
That's for Robert Zambian listeners. We're big in Zambia. Me and Southside and Stevie were big in Zambia. In fact, we're big everywhere, us three.
It's all fair. We need to get that to number one, Ox. We need to get the Rangers fans buying that song.
Fashion gets it right. We've all made. But he done it again. I mean, he put the ball through for Kent. He put the ball in for Cholak. He scores the third goal. He then puts the ball in for again for Cholak for the fourth goal. In fact, I'm going to change my man in the match. He's got something juicy. I know that he's likely to do something mad, but he's also likely to do something brilliant,
As I said, Ox, earlier, the unpredictability is what actually makes him even more exciting, because he's got that sort of X factor of being a different kind of player, you know. And we've seen him score. You know, he scored at Parkhead. He scored in other big games as well. So it's, you know, we've seen him do it in the big matches as well. So he's more than capable. But for so long, Ox, he's actually been played out of position, because I think we all agree that his preferred position is actually on the left, which has been very hard to displace Kent over the years. So the fact that he's, you know, had a bit of an opportunity there the other day, quite pleasing. And you know, you want to see the players being given the best opportunity to play in their position of choice, ideally. And I just think he brings something different. And the boy can finish. He's got pace for days, and he's learning as well. So I think there's more to come from him.
Good on you. Right, I'll put it out there to the listeners, GB, if it's all right with you, mate.
I might get it fired out.
I'll keep it simple. Should Fashion Sakala start in my first 11 consistently going forward? What's your thoughts, GB?
100% Ox. I think both him and Cholak just need game time, mate. I think Fashion has become a far better player with getting games. That boy is developing every single game, and he's getting better. I mean, I even was on the show with you, the Kilmarnock game, and I was questioning him. It was questioning his ability, and I kind of take it back, because I was saying that he wasn't on the same wavelength as Kent and Cholak, but it's just basic learning and getting an understanding with the players around about him. Because, like I says, last night, him and Cholak really complemented each other really well. And I'm telling you, that could be a right interesting partnership that they build. See if we can keep them fit and keep them playing in the games consistently. I think they'll annihilate any defence. As long as we keep doing what we were doing with the pitch last night, we keep using the space and stuff like that. I know Sunday will probably be a different kind of game, but we still need to find that space. And I think what I say is, if they two keep that understanding up, then there's no stopping Fashion. I think what I say is he's the one that's took the coaching on the best, I think, since Beals came in. He's developed so much I think the arm around the shoulder told him why he was signed in the first place. And I think he's felt more at home again.
I don't think there's any doubt, and I don't want to rake up over old ground, Juicy, but I don't think the relationship was the greatest with Fashion, the previous manager.
I don't think he was in an exclusive club there, Ox. You know, the style of play, particularly the way a lot of our forward players and attacking players played, was altered somewhat under the previous manager, wasn't it? And we didn't have the same level of flamboyancy in matches. So a player like Fashion, you know, is going to feel that more than most, isn't he?
Talking about flamboyancy and ability, I've been joined by old Davey.
Evening, boys.
How we doing, Mark?
Hi, Davey.
Thanks for your call, guys. See you more.
Hey, Davey, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Bridge. Yeah, it's great. You made a couple of good points there, Bridge. I'm 100% behind you. Regarding Sakala, definitely, aye. The guy's got it there. Okay, we talked about 1 minute he was getting up that wing, and next minute he was taking a header. You know, you're going, oh, come on. And then he pulls it out of the bag. I have him in that team every game. The point I was wanting to ask you is, looking at the way the game was going in the last game, Kolak, I said that Kolak should have played against Celtic. People said, no, but play Alfie. You know what happened? I said, play him against Kilmarnock. We've seen what he done. I said, play him against Hibs, and we've seen what he done. Do you think Alfie deserves to get... Okay, he's only other fit centre we've got, but do you think Alfie should get another contract? Because I think he's run his race, guys.
I think that ship might have sailed, mate. If you're watching that game last night, You see Alfie coming on, and you watch the Kent and Ryan chat, the effort, and then you watch Alfie coming on. You know, maybe your judgment's clouded, but yeah, the simple pass to Scotty Arfield and the argument he would give, he's trying to score, you know, because he's a centre. But I think that ship might have sailed, David. You never know. I mean, I thought Golston was out the door and strange things happen, but watching last night, Cholak's the man, and he might be the man going forward. GB, then Juicy, then Bridge.
Davey, I think that says he's Buffalo, just on Buffalo himself. His ship's gone, mate. Last night, again, as Dogs touched on, he wasn't thinking about the team. He could have squared that to Arfield, and Arfield could have got his goal, and again, it would have added to our goal tally, gave confidence to Scotty Arfield and all that, and just made it an all-round performance for himself. But no, he had to keep it and wanted all the glory again. So I'm quite happy that he's not getting a start. I want him. If Rangers give him a contract, then we're basically flushing money down the toilet, because he'll do the exact same thing into the following season. So his time's up, and let's say you see with Cholak the total difference, right? Cholak last night, he was nearly back in defence at times, right? And he was winning the ball back in defence and giving it to Tav. Then he was sprinting up the park, along with Tav and all the rest of the team, in a way to get back into position. His work rate's total night and day to Alfie. And they hear me. Alfie's done his turn and all that, right? But Cholak now is gaining his options. He's becoming that player as well that can help out in defence, rather than just it being the 10 men that we've got back. We've got 11 men back fighting to get the ball back after defence and up the park. So Cholak's the number one for me, and hopefully we can reinvest Alfie's money into another guy that can support.
I think he looks fitter. That's a big difference with Cholak. Juicy?
Oh, well, we know exactly what he's capable of, Ox, when he's fully fit. We have to figure out a way of being able to play with him in the team. But as GB said, look at his work rate last night. Look how he's moving around the pitch, getting involved a lot more, and isn't just expecting the ball to his feet. So he's adapting to play with us as well. And Alfie, look, we all love Alfie, but he's been with us years. I've said this before, same as Kent. They both go in the summer on a free, then so be it. But Alfie's been with us a long time. He's had some real good seasons, but we also know he's one of the humpiest, moodiest players we've ever had. And he 1 week we're loving him, the next week everyone's really irritated by him. But he is an enigma as well. But I think his race has run at Rangers, and he's given us plenty of good service, Ox, and but he's running out of steam now, and I think we all wish him well. But he has been inconsistent at times, and the numbers aren't there, are they? He's just not putting the ball away consistently enough for my liking to be competitive.
Bridge?
Yeah, I don't disagree with anything anyone said about him. I absolutely love the guy. I'm a big fan of his, big fan. But I think I said it last week. You start to come to the end of the road with him. However, I have to get this to say, I think we've got 10 league games left, and let's say 3 cup games, potentially 3 cup games. And this man, Fredo Morelos, has got to make up his mind whether he wants to stay here or not. If he wants to stay here, he's got to be a completely different man. But in the next, let's say it's going to be 3 months. Next 3 months, he's got to be a completely different man at the end of it before we're going to even look at him. Because he's got a massive gap in form. He was last season or the season before even to what he is now. I know he's had some injuries and things like that, but no, I'm sorry. His attitude stank, and his attitude is going to stink even more if he didn't get himself fit. I hate to say this because I'm a wee bit overweight myself, but he's massively overweight for a professional footballer of this calibre. Massively overweight. And what a waste. Yeah. What a waste.
Well said.
I just think it's time to go. always like the players to get the front goal. It's done as a turn, Davey, and I hope Morelos goes with our best wishes.
Yeah, definitely. Totally agree with that. And the thing is, as well, it must be a bit demoralising for some of the young guys who are watching what we're watching and saying, I'm not even getting on the bench here. But it's just where we are with the centre, with that position. Because you've got Big Kolak, he's turning it on, he's doing the business. And then you've got, what's his name, Ruth, who's just, he's just totally injury prone. So realistically, they've not really got another number 9. So that's how he's getting on, I think, to getting again, because that's how we're short in that position at the moment.
Aye, we've not got the numbers in there, the guys that could play, and then I mean, I know Lawrence could maybe fit in there, and he's injured, and Roof's injured, and obviously Cholak's been injured, and Alfie's been injured. There's a theme here, GB.
Injuries, Ox. Again, it's been the name of the game. But some players do come back quicker in injuries. Like I say, there's Cholak, right? He was out for that period of time, but he's come back and he's fit and ready, Ox. He looks like an athlete, like a striker, ready to rock and roll. I mean, Alfie was out injured and he came back and still doesn't, even at this point in the season, still doesn't look fit and ready for the games. You know what I mean? I like Alfie, the whole thing that he brings, and all the rough and tumble and all that. But at the end of the day, if I've got a choice who's going to score me goals against Celtic, it's going to be Tony Goals all day.
Tony Goals. Don't know if
Tony
I like
Goals.
that. I've got to be honest, I don't know if I like that.
He needs his song, Ox. I think we need to get my song.
Tony Goals. I don't know if I'm not feeling that, Davey. Are you?
I'll leave the poetry to you.
Come on, Ox. You're in the young team. You should know this.
Tony Goals. Right? Tony Goals. I'm not feeling it, Juicy. I ain't feeling that.
No, I don't think I am either.
How did he get that name?
I'm not feeling it. What about you, Bridge? No?
I'm mystified. I've never even heard the name. Tony Goals. So where did you get this one, GB? What is it?
I think it's with the Union Bears that gave him it.
Oh, it's for the Union Bears. Well, yeah, they're a different, maybe 3 generations away from me.
Antonio, so it's like Tony. So it's short
Yeah,
for
of
Tony.
course, I understand the naming. I don't mean who's the goals, because he's not scored that many, really, has he?
What?
How many has he got this season?
He's a top goal scorer in Rangers.
I know he is, but he hasn't actually scored that many. You know, he's been injured a lot, you know. I've not taken anything away for the guy. The guy's a super goal scorer for us, you know. But he's been injured. He couldn't get into the team and so on and so forth. He's back. But I never knew about the Tony Goals. So, never knew that.
No, I'm not feeling it. GB, you need to do better than that.
GB's fault.
I'm taking it for the young team, mate. I'm trying to be hip and all that, you know what I mean? But I fell flat on my face. I'll just go back to Cholak. There you go. Cholak Goals.
Tony Goals. Nah, I'm in shock, mate. I'm in shock.
How about chocolate biscuit? That'll eat you up.
I'll go to HR in the morning.
Tony Goals. Your biscuits are for Waitrose, Davey. In the
Oh,
studio.
no. I must say, but I thought Cantwell was absolutely outstanding.
There was 20.
Every time I watched him, he was up and doing. And do you know who really surprised me last night? And we were talking about the effort they all put in.
Oh, Davey surprised you.
There was near the end of the game where we generally sort of peter off a wee bit. especially when you're up 4-1, was when Tavernier was way up at the corner flag and he wouldn't give up. I've not seen that in him. And a lot of them are the same. I mean, Barisic's passing was a bit out of sync, but Tavernier was all over the place. And that's what you're wanting of them. And if you get that, I think the jigsaw puzzle will all start to fit together.
I mean, it was a great team performance, and as I said earlier on, Juicy, there was about 20 minutes, maybe a wee bit longer in that second half for Todd Cantwell. You know, there was one, I think he fell, and he still managed to beat about two of them and pass it away.
That's right.
Yeah, that was on the Rangers social pages today, wasn't it? Just that little specific highlight. And
just out of curiosity, did they mention Tony goals? Carry on, Juicy, the floor's yours, mate. Tony goals.
This is one of the reasons why Cantwell was my man of the match, because he's got that quality, and that's what we need in this team now. And if there's one thing that I think we just need to add to this team, is exactly what the manager said, was we need several more key players. We're going to be having a number of people leave in the summer. We can all debate exactly who we think that will be, but you could have upwards of 8 to 10 players leaving. So we know we're going to have to bring some guys in, but they're guys that are going to have to fit the system in terms of what he's already building. And we're clearly going to need one or two more midfielders. Defence isn't looking too bad. They might not change that too much based on the fact that we've got players coming back from injury, and it really just depends on how those guys get on, Stuto and Yilmaz, etc. And of course King. But in the midfield, that's where we really need to improve this team. And if Alfredo and Kent do go, another couple of forward players as well. So there's a lot of work to do, Ox. But Cantwell, he's a mainstay in this team. Keep the man fit, build the team around him, and we're going to have many more successes to come. And we're going to need to be competitive next season.
I'm still in shock, Bridge. Tony goals.
I'm mystified by it. But however, if that's what the young lads call them, then
we'll have to go with
brilliant. What to go with? We've got to be young and hip and so on and so forth. Well, that's what they used to call it when I was young.
You get the tattoo, Bridge, first. I'll go with
it. Can I just comment on the? Excuse me. What we just said about Ryan Kent going. I know we thought this was going to happen, and I honestly think it will happen, but I hope it doesn't, because last night showed some of the best of Ryan Kent. That guy, no matter where he was, they absolutely slaughtered him. They booted, put him all night. Every time he got the ball, they were into him. They were pulling him, shoving him, kicking him. I think he put an outstanding performance in. I'd go anywhere, man, with the ball at his feet. By goodness gracious, he could play football last night. I thought it was a tremendous performance by him. Unfortunately, he could have scored 2 goals last night and never got them. But nevertheless, he was there. So I hope he changes his mind and signs on for us for another 2 years, whatever it be, 4 years. I hope he does, but I doubt it.
Listen, we've got to be fair. We've criticised Ryan Kent a lot, Davey, on the show, But last night he showed an appetite, and that's maybe attitude. That's the first thing we look for. And you'll get away with a lot if you show the right attitude, Davey.
Oh, definitely. I think a lot of that game depended on how Hibs were going to come out and set up, and I think they made a big booby because they gave us the room we needed. And if you give us that room, it just shows you what we can do with that room. But they fancied their chances, and there was no a big block like you would normally get because of the circumstances with that guy passing and the atmosphere, and it opened up a lot of space. You could see it was a big spaces, and that's when we were at our best, and was their downfall.
Did you see they made a big booby? I'll go to my big boobies fan. GB.
Fond of a big booby. No, I don't think it was like any mistakes in the sense. I think it was just like I says the way the team was performing, Davey.
But we opened them up. We were opening them up because the spaces were there for us to do that. If you look at a lot of the other games when we play them, they just play. You know the setup, how they form. It's just sometimes it's 2 blocks of 5. Well, Hibs didn't come out and do that, and that made us give us the space that we capitalised on that.
Yeah, I think that again, like come the weekend, obviously you're going to get your 2 banks of 5. But I think, see if we do the same thing, we find the spaces. So, like say what we're doing last night. See the ball at the tap last night. I mean, we were too much a lot of the time ball on the ground, pass. But see last night, see sometimes that ball at the tap and turning the defence. That worked amazing last night, and I think, see, be honest, against these teams that they've got the two 5s, I think that could work brilliant against them.
The problem is that when they sit in GB and they don't come up the park, there's no grass. So they're playing a long ball behind them, the ball just goes out the pitch. That's how they don't move up the park. Do you see in it?
Yeah, exactly, Ox. And we've got to get something together that works in the big matches, And I'm not going to undermine our performance last night at all. Getting a win at Hibs and a win at Hearts in such fashion is fantastic. But we know the level that we're going to need to bring to compete in this league. And it's not going to be measured against how we do against Hibs and Hearts. We've got to be able to play consistently like that almost every single week. And that's what we're going to need. I feel like manager's starting to sort of figure that out now. He's going to figure out who he needs in the team. He's going to figure out who isn't cutting the mustard. And like you said, Ox, a system of moving that ball quickly, getting it up the pitch, creating chances. And there aren't many teams that will live with us.
Okay, listen, the other thing that was tremendous last night was the backing of the team. The support was absolutely fantastic. What a difference when you get the right tickets for a run, and it brings a bit of atmosphere to the game, and we have a performance. We hear some great tunes for our team, getting the backing of the team. But with anybody had any problem getting in and out of that stadium, for last night onward, the day, right up to the night, where people contact us with a problem and the way the support were treated, try get into the ground. If we can't organise people to get in a safely and fitting manner, there's an issue in this century. There are no new grounds. They should be set up properly to get people in and out. They are paying customers. People seem to forget that. They're paying for the privilege. But come and give us a ring if you had issues last night getting in and out of the game. And the support and the singing were first class, and we believe this man orchestrated it. Let's hear for you.
The boy I love, Charles. The club made for me and for you. I went to the ground with my father. Since then I have followed on too. And now I am older and wiser. The passion still runs through and through. I make sure my sons and my daughters still defend the red, white and blue. Here we go. Na 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 na.
There you go, huh?
Oh man,
Absolutely.
That's my ringtone.
Oh God, you better tell Fox you'll need to go to the doctors with that voice.
He'll need to go to the doctors with something as a audio.
Brilliant. That was brilliant.
Make that the tune tonight, Ox. Put that on as a tune tonight.
Ox, can I come in a minute?
Yes, David, of course you can.
Just a wee point, we were talking about how we were struggling to break down defences. I thought, this is my opinion, I thought our third goal, the one Kolak scored, that was, see the movement in that? That was, the Kent was 2 or 3 of them, and you think he's going to go in outside, blast it, and then he gives it Fashion, you think he's just going, if that had been Alfie, that was going right out of the bar or into Rose Red, and fucking turned round, slipped out of Colac, bum bum bum, and that whole Hibs were packed in there. So it shows you that they can do that. And that must give them confidence that they can do that.
Well, what came out of last night was, Davey, 31 shots.
Yeah.
So you're going to score goals out of the pieces. You've got that amount of shots consistently, yeah? Davey?
Oh, stats speak for themselves, don't they?
Aye.
And you know that. And one thing I hope he does for the weekend is he doesn't juggle that team about again, like he did with Thistle. He's going to play that again. And if we do get what he intends to do, if we do open them up, get a few, bring it, change it then. But he's going to keep starting that. I said that when we put the end of the Kilmarnock, we played Kilmarnock last game. No, was it?
Kilmarnock.
Anyway, it was. And I says, he's going to start the same team. Well, he did. And it came to fruition.
Anyway, we'll be joined by Bobby. All right, Bobby?
Okay, Obs, aye, a lot better, aye. That was a tremendous display last night. Absolutely outstanding.
It was, now, some of the football was exquisite, mate, eh?
So, some of it was absolutely pressure.
What pleased you, Bobby? What pleased you? Obviously the 4 goals, but what pleased you?
The team.
Good
the
man.
Team is the kind of team I've been crying out for. The team. Yeah, the pace, the attacking, and running at teams. Even the boy Kent last night had a good game for a change. He had a right good game. He was trying to take people on. He was hassling them. Sakala was outstanding. Obviously, really the whole team was. There's not a bad player you could pick out the team.
No, I agree, mate. I agree. I thought it was a great team performance, and even the centre halves and the 2 fullbacks with an appetite to go and win the ball back, help the good players get the ball and let them flourish. You know, a real team performance. Good point, Bobby.
What I liked about the team last night is they were feeding Colac in the penalty box. And Colac is a good finisher. He needs to be in that penalty box, and that's what he done last night. I thought the 4th goal, the way he just kind of tapped it in, you wouldn't have got Alfie doing that. He's been blasting it, but he just kind of tapped it in.
Do you think, I made a comment earlier on in the show, and I'll go to you then, I'll go to Bridge with us. I did say that I thought that, see, Cholak's first goal, there's only him and Scotty Arfield in our squad can score that type of goal with that front post run, Bobby.
Yeah, well, he's got the brains. He knows he doesn't need to blast the ball. He just gets in contact with it, and he kind of, you never see him snapping at boys. He's kind of. No, I'm a great Alfie fan. Don't forget, but the way the boy played last night, you can't leave him at the team.
Man, Ridgeman.
Yeah, I think that. I think any manager worth their salt, if they've got a squad like that and they've played a recent game like they did last night, and if he wants to change that, then we'll be tied him if it doesn't go right. But there's no way that team should be changed at all. They could just run them up in the first half. If it's an easy game for Rangers, then you can take 7 of them off and put 7 of them on at half time. Simple as that. But that team should be allowed to play. And obviously, I'm not talking if there's any injuries or wee knocks and things like that, then they're not playing. We could do without that. But if they're all fit after that, and I would imagine that they would be, then they've got to start. And I agree with Bobby. No way should we be turning anything around at all. Just get out there, continue doing what we're doing, learn each other's play, and learn all the wee tricks that you can play. You can play around about them, and do the business. That's what you're needing. We don't need MD to fall down. We don't need MD to do anything other than what he did last night. That's what we want. Team that can get there and a team that can score goals, because Tony Goals is going to score a
Tony
goal
Goals.
for you.
Tony Goals.
Sorry, guys.
Bobby, what was your view on, and I'll take this round the panel. Well, no really mentioned them much the first day of the show. What was your view on young Raskin last night?
Raskin is he was a good player, but my man of the match is probably similar to yours. Ryan Jack was outstanding.
Aye,
Ryan Jack was breaking down everything, and he was the boy. I think he deserves another year. That's my opinion. Now I'm going to go into my.
Would you said that before last night's game?
Yeah, well, I've always been a good Jack fan, but it was his injuries. Now, if a boy can stay fit, I would give him another year. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Bobby, what else were you going to say, Bobby?
My second point that I phoned up for was we all know Tillman's a good player, but looking at that, if he gets fit again, do you think he should walk into the team?
And knowing that performance last night personally, as much as I like Tillman, GP.
It's been a question. It's been kind of circulating around the social media about Tillman, where he's got to fit in, considering the way the team's playing now. I was still having him in the team, but I don't know who you drop now, to be honest. I think he's got to be a kind of guy that's got to come off the bench now for us, or depending on what kind of game.
I cracked it, Bobby. If we're going to play what we did last night, we could drop McGregor and play him.
No, but that's my point. We're thinking about paying $5 million for Tillman. If our boys can do that, what they done last night, and you seen Cantwell and that, they don't deserve to get dropped for him. That's just my opinion.
Juicy.
Sorry, that broke up there. Please repeat, sir.
Point for Bobby was, how do you get Tillman in that team? Do you drop somebody to play Tillman?
Well, one of them, an interesting point that we alluded on recently was how many number 10 type players we have at Rangers at the moment. And I don't know is the answer, because we all want to keep Tillman at the club box. I'm sure everyone here would probably agree with that. But you've got Cantwell, you've got Hadji, you've got Lawrence. Obviously, boy's out to the end of the season, so not going to be seeing him for a while. But there's a number of players in those positions. So either we change the formation where we've got two attacking midfielders sitting behind a striker where you could incorporate two at the same time, or there's just players that can have to sit out. One thing that's great about Rangers is the amount of fixtures we have in a season. European fixtures going deep into domestic cups. So there's going to be plenty of matches for everyone. But it's just going to have to rotate appropriately, because if the players are playing well, we're going to be wanting to see them play every week.
Bridge, just quickly before we go to the tune.
Oh, any player that's on our books at the moment, and they're not in that 11 that started last night, are going to struggle to get into that team, because the way they played, and if they can maintain that form and the pace of the game that they played, oh my goodness gracious, it's been a long time, as I say, since the last UEFA Cup runs. They were just wonderful to watch, and Ibrox was just desperate to see this good play, and we give it. Last night would have been brilliant. See if that had been Ibrox, my God Almighty, they'd have brought the house down. Just wonderful, just absolutely wonderful. I doubt very much if any player could walk back into that team. That's what I think.
All right, if you don't mind, gentlemen, get yourself in mute, because we're going to have a tune.
Ibrox is the place, and we will follow in the championship race. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. It's true, the magic boys in blue are the best team in the land. You've got to queue and govern to get a ticket for the stand. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. We've spent a lot of money on great players, yes, that's true. But the Rangers fans deserve the best from the boys in royal blue. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Ago the story, it was dismal, full of gloom. Now we're building an extension for the Ibrox trophy room. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. In Europe we'll be travelling by land and sea and plain. The teddy bears have got the bears and we're on the march again. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Great point you made, Bobby, about Tillman. We discussed it a few weeks ago. I can't remember if you were on, you might have been. We wanted to play, I think, against Ross County. Play the two attacking players in front, and they all got in each other's way. And we've had a problem how we'll get Cantwell and Tillman in the same team, but he seems to have moved him, tweaked the system, and he's in the right of Jack with Raskin on the left, but they've all got a free role. I don't know if Tillman could play that, if I'm being honest, Bobby. I think Tillman's a guy who would play up beside the striker. If you like, the modern number 10 floating about, yeah.
Yeah, well, Tillman's he's a great player, and that's what I'm saying. The position he's in and out, it doesn't. Why not try him up with Kolak or something? Just off Kolak and see what he can do. But where are you going to fit him after last night? I walked out the day obs and I was proud. I've always been proud, but I was really proud to be a Rangers supporter today. We actually ran all the top of him. And I thought it was going to be a hard game.
One of our best performances in a long, long time, in a place that people think is traditionally hard, but we've actually got a decent record there. But traditionally, it's a tough place to go, Bobby, yeah?
Well, maybe if we move my park to Edinburgh, we'll maybe go on every week. You know? Well, that's Hearts and Hibs, isn't it? We're just demolished.
Aye. With very little praise, GB, very little praise.
Very little, actually, not even on the telly. You know what I mean? Don't know what Sky have been thinking about. I don't even. I can't remember if Sky even showed any highlights last night of the game. I never seen much on the Sky Sports News, but it just shows you. I mean, we've went to probably two of the toughest away grounds, and we've put on two great performances and came away with two high-scoring games. I think, to be honest, see if we're able to nail all the kind of away games and stuff like that, the way we're kind of form is, then it is a kind of a title challenge in form. I mean, if he can take that into next season, then you can start to see where Bale's trying to go with what he's trying to build. I mean, it's last night I think gave a lot of the fans confidence. Ox, I think we were kind of still questioning a wee bit of him, but see last night, see the way the team played, you're like, that's more what we've recognised there the last few years. That's more what we expect in our performance. Now, granted, we're not going to get that same kind of leeway every game, but you can put up with the hard, rough and tumble games if you're getting a game like that last night every other game. I mean, that's the Rangers team I recognised last night.
Aye, that's what we're looking for. That's the frustrating thing. I'll take this to Juicy. I make a flipping comment on here when I say if we play, we win. And I mean that about every team in Scotland. If we play to a potential, we beat every team in Scotland. Juicy.
Yes, that's true. And we just haven't been in the position a lot this season, have we, Ox, in terms of availability of resources to the manager, change of managers, 2 seasons in a row, not easy. And those aren't excuses at all. I know we've been, I know we're in a situation where we have to win every single match, Ox, to compete in this league. And since the manager has been in, we've done that. Yeah, I know we haven't got any closer, but we are, as GB said, we're actually showing that form now, aren't we? We're showing competitive league form right now, and that's pleasing because Beale would have been under a lot of pressure if he was dropping points early into his reign. It puts him under immediate pressure. And okay, cup finals, cup semi-finals, they're all, one-off games. They can go either way. I know we lost that game, but it's we still competed. We're not getting blown over anymore, and that's what we need to see. We need to see close games where we have got that opportunity to do well, not getting walked over anymore, and that's really important, Ox.
Yeah, you're right, mate. You're right, Bridgeman. It's important. Just he's made a good point there. Huh?
Absolutely, 100%. To me, the manager, and the whole of the management team are looking at what's happening and what's happened to our form, kind of up and down. We're kind of flattered to see something, but really and truly, last night, watershed evening for us, and now the Rangers fans are going to be at the stadium on Sunday, and there's a lot of number there. They'll be there. They want to see the team playing the same way, and this is what we need. We've said it for a couple of weeks now. We've been building up to this, and we need to see this. We need to be see, or they need to make us see this. And let us see what they're like, because my God, do we deserve a better performances than we've had. But the truth of the matter is, the manager's here. He's came here, and he's only been beaten once. If you follow what I mean. That was his cup final.
Yeah, you're right, Bridge. You're right. Listen, there's a lot of talk on social media. He's a big hit with the ladies, and we've got his tune.
I said you don't know it, girls. I'm gonna bring you straight to him now. Yeah, I call him Bobby.
That's brilliant, man.
That's for all the boys in Shettleston, Bobby.
Aye.
How do you make the girls scream like that, Bobby?
I wish it was the girls, not the boys.
I think it was that Mikhailichenko to go, you're the fan.
Oh, right.
Right, watch what you say on here, Bobby. Watch what you say on here.
I'm watching now. I'm getting used to it now.
Oh, that's a brilliant tune. I like that one, GB.
It's class, Ox. Brilliant patter tonight. I'm enjoying that. That's what I says. Welcoming the callers onto the show in great style, getting their own songs now. I mean, we're talking about Tony Goals not getting his song, and now we're getting it out to the callers. Brilliant.
David, we're trying to get one for you, but we'll maybe get it before your birthday.
Tell us this. What part of Glasgow does this singer come from?
It's Bobby. He knows her name.
He doesn't know his own name. You know I'm only kidding, Bobby. You know I'm only kidding.
Bother, mate. I can take it.
Bobby, I'm going to say something, right? What a difference a week makes. We're all laughing, huh?
What a difference a week makes. It's absolutely brilliant. If we can keep that up, and if we think about it, we lost the league with Gio, with 3 games. Livingston and St Johnstone and that. Bill, that's championship material. That's league material he's brought to us. We'd lost it with Broncos. And we can't grasp it back because they keep on winning. That's the only difference now.
And obviously because of that, they're underneath pressure. You know, that's a fair comment just here.
Yeah, and look, they got a 9-point lead, and you know, we've done ever so well, as you've just said, Bobby, in terms of just getting a run going and maintaining that under the new manager. That's really pleasing. You know, Bill's got nothing to be ashamed about on that league form, and I think the levels that both these teams go to every season. If one's winning, it means the other one isn't always in terms of league position. But Bill can't do anything about what happened under Gia. He can only rebuild from what he's got now. I just think from a Rangers perspective, what we need now is to give this guy an opportunity over the summer. He'll get that, and to get his business done, see what we can do, because we can't be having changes. What we've seen, a couple of seasons in a row of managers going before the halfway point of the season, whether it was for a good reason or a bad reason, because it's just really difficult to pick it back up from there. And okay, it's been a tough season this season, but we are competing now, and we're probably going to run out of matches. But that doesn't mean that we can't give ourselves a good showing in the 2 Old Firm games. And you never know, Ox. They might just slip up, but they'll need to slip up in 2. So that probably makes it unlikely, because I think we'd all agree the rest of the league isn't very good. So you'd never rely on anyone else in this league taking points off a team if we're not involved in it. We can only take care of our own business. But as long as we can put in 2 good performances in the next 2 Old Firms, and who knows, quite possibly the Cup as well, because if we're going to win it, we're probably going to have to play them. There's plenty more opportunities to show what we're capable of.
Yeah. Can we give just a big shout out to my friends at Heart and Hand, who mentioned the Rangers Radio evening along with the Rangers Supporter Rescue Appeal, which will be in the 25th of March in Ardney Street Halls in Partick. But the speakers on that night will be Derek Johnson, Gordon Smith, and Mark Catley. We still have got some tickets left. Yeah, you can buy as a table of 6, or it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever you want. Contact us at rangersradio@gmail.com if you're interested. The do is 2 weeks on Saturday, and we just want to make sure it's a sellout. Everybody's a good time. It's £40 a ticket, and it's a 4-course meal with entertainment. Great that Heart and Hand gave us a shout out today, GB.
Yeah, mate, another great Rangers fan platform. And like I says, it's for a good cause, Ox. So Aye, a big thanks to Heart and Hand for giving us that shout out to their platform and their listeners.
I think the last song of the night might be that Bobby number, would you think, GB?
Oh, it has to be. I hear that screaming voice again. It's brilliant.
What about the old one that came from the 60s? I want to be Bobby's girl. Remember that? Remember that?
Oh, that was a good one.
Did you remember it?
Yeah, of course I do.
Who sung it?
I don't know who sung it.
It was Bobby who wrote it.
Susan Mon. Susan Mon.
Was it Bridgman? Good shout, Bridgman.
To be Bobby's girl.
I can't remember Nico Raskin's name last night. You remember that?
I still can't remember
The Eurovision must be coming up soon.
Oh, Bridge will be there doing in Liverpool. His rainbow flag.
Non point.
Tell you what, you're going to have a right good time in Liverpool, and that's for sure. That's for sure.
Oh, that's for another show, Bridge. We need to hear about that.
No, we went for a lovely visit, and my mate.
Hi, I'm Miss Patty. What's your name? David. I like that name. Let's sing it together. Ready? D-A-V-I-D. D-A-V-I-D. D-A-V.
Was that Linda?
No, that was Mrs. GB.
And by the way, I've changed my name to Daisy.
Bobby, we didn't want them getting jealous of you, mate. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. We're all slagging each other and we're all happy.
No, it's true. I got a letter from Nicola Sturgeon saying your name's now Daisy.
Oh, David's a Sunday name, so I'll be all right.
Aye, that's it, Bobby.
Right, okay. Let's come back to last night's football. David, we'll keep that for your birthday, yeah?
Thank you.
Right, get back to last night's game. It looks to me, and I'll go to Juicy first, then Bobby, back to GB, and the rest of the guys. We've tweaked our system. You know, we sort of played that rigid with two in front, two sitters. We don't have that at the moment. The midfield's moved back to the, if you like, the Gerrard system with the three in midfield who work together. What's your thoughts? It seems to be working, going in last night's performance in the first half against Kilmarnock. Wasn't he great in the cup final though? Juicy and then Bobby.
Not just it's a combination, Ox, of the formation and the personnel changes, I think. And got to remember, Mr. Beale was from the Gerrard team, so a lot of people attribute the run that we had to the Europa final last season, Ox, from the style and method that was still in place to some degree from Beale and Stevie. So you can see that, and you can see that again in this team now. And we just want to be entertained, Ox. We don't want to see a going for a 1-0 or a 2-0 and holding it in the SPFL. We want to be entertained. We want to see good forward football. But I still maintain that you don't need to play two holding players in this league. So, change it up. Play with more attacking players. As we said earlier, have two number 10s behind a striker. I'm quite happy with that. We don't need to go too defensive against most of these guys.
Bobby?
Aye, well, Juicy's right. I was just thinking, watching it last night, do you think Kent was playing out in the wing, or was he playing a wee kind of number 10?
There was a 15-minute spell, Bobby, where I thought he was playing more at centre forward.
That's just behind Cole. That's what I was saying. He's got he's getting the free, and that's where he's good at. But see, when he gets the freedom in the park, he's he's good at that. It's just his finishing. He could have scored 2 goals last night. It could have been emphatic, but his finishing is he snaps at the ball and but that to me that's his kind of position. It's no stuck out in the wing.
I don't think you're alone in that, But these tweaks, do you see them, Bobby? You see the difference?
Yeah, I see the pace quickening up. The pace that instead of just the ball, what we used to do, just Kamara to whoever and back again and work it back to the. I see they're attacking more. They're trying to get up the park quicker, and that can only be good. But every game can be different. But see, since Beale's come in, I think I'm right in saying his average is nearly 3 goals a game. All right, with a loss and all that. But his average nearly 3 goals a game.
I'll get it exactly for you, Bobby. I'll get it exactly for you.
Either 2.5 or 3.
And you come, Bridgeman, and then GB.
Forgot to switch off the meter. Sorry, guys. I think that you mentioned it, Ryan Kent. I've got him. He's my man of the match for last night. I thought he had a fantastic game. Held the ball really, really well, but he took some punishment for it as well. I don't see a big problem with the way we're playing. I think there's rigid. Maybe it's no rigid. Maybe 4-3-3 or a derivative of it. But certainly 4-3 for the midfield. So 4 at the back and 3 in the midfield. You can't go wrong with that, in my opinion, providing you've got people that can run. No good putting people on that can't run, because they'll just kill your game, which we've seen happening. But I don't know how many goals we've scored per game on average since Beale came in.
We've scored a total of 41 goals in 17 games. So approximately 2.5, Bobby. Yeah.
2.5, which is what Bobby said there, aye. So that's a brilliant record in my opinion. Brilliant record. However, we may have lost something like that as well,
I think it's only right on this show we round it to 2.5, Bridge.
Aye, cool, I'm happy.
GB?
Hi, Ox. I mean, the biggest tactical change was the Kent last night. I think I noticed that seeming like if Kent moved into the middle, then Fashion moved out to the left, Cholak kind of moved into the right, and then when Cholak moved into the centre, Fashion moved out to the left, and then Kent was back kind of more like centre midfield out on the right hand side. So I don't know whether they've been told at different periods of the game to keep doing that, or if they're just naturally doing that. That's understanding the freedom we've got, that when one moves, they move into the other one's position kind of thing. But it worked really well, and like I say, the whole Fashion and Cholak kind of partnership. I mean, Kent kind of had the free roll to move wherever he kind of wanted to, but Fashion and Cholak stayed quite close together, and the partnership that they built up last night, like I say, that's probably been the best tactical bit of play I've seen Beale do, in the sense that he's now got 2 guys that are wanting to help each other, if you mean. Like, one will move for the other one, or one will... Like, it's as if Fashion against Kamar was they really listening to each other, but it just shows you after one game, and then like last night, like I says, the 2 of them have built up a right quick understanding, and hopefully that will just keep building now.
Oh, Davey, I think Sakala, I was going to say, Cholak, he's a leader. He's pointing, he's telling, he's grabbing them.
Oh,
even in Saturday there, when he didn't get up or scored for Fashion, he's telling them, he's grown into that position. He's maybe gained a bit of confidence at a club mate, Yeah,
well, I noticed that JB was dead on what he said. Every word was exactly what I was going to say, actually. The point I picked up is Hibs didn't know who to pick up. Their game plan, I think, they set up to, you get him, you're on him, you're on, this is the way they're going to play. And we didn't play like that. We started off and then he was there, he was there, somebody else was through the middle. They didn't know how to mark. And that paid off big dividends to me. I could see that working. And long may it continue, because they've all got the ability to do that. You could play any one of them through the middle. Kane, Sakala, Kolak, and they'll all get where they want to go, and that's into the pokey.
Aye. But Sakala. Don't know. I might prepare the Bobby song for Morris.
Bobby!
You know something, Knox? See when Sakala does score, that wee guy gives you as much as he gives you when he's playing. He loves it, and he can feel it for the club. And a lot of players score goals, but see when he reacts, you're like, going yourself, wee man, going, and you can see him, he's bursting with pride. And that's what we're screaming out for.
You can't help but like him, Bobby, can you?
Oh, I love his enthusiasm, observing just the way he plays. He plays with a smile on his face. Okay, sometimes we all know what we're going to get out, but we don't know what we're going to get out of him. But if the wee boy plays with a smile, and at one time he was all right. Then when Kent moved in the middle, he was away on the left. He just plays with as if it's for fun.
He's got ability, Bobby. He's got ability. He does some lovely things, and there's something about him, Bobby. I don't know what it is, but there's something.
I don't know myself. He seems to have ability when he's not got time to think. See, when he's got too much time to think, that's when he plays all the ball. He's got ability to just be quick and say, right, I'm not thinking about this, just wallop it. And that's what we're all over about the wee boy. Okay, he'll have a stinker, and him will go on his back, but to me, he plays with enjoyment, and the whole playing for the Rangers. That's all I want.
And obviously, you score goals, you make goals. That partnership with him and Cholak, Juicy, in the last couple of games, they've been involved in a lot of goals.
Oh, it's getting the juices flowing, isn't it? Because you can see it starting to develop and mature now, Ox. And just got to keep them fit and keep them playing, because Fashion has done well on that right side. Even though, as I said earlier, I still think he's left-sided, and you want him to get more opportunities out there, particularly if Kent is being given that kind of floating role, or he's also becoming a number 10 as well. Everyone's becoming a number 10. But I think that would be great to see Sakala deployed there. But yeah, it's about getting that understanding. And it's good because Aribo, when he was at the club, he was good on that right side, but he was inconsistent as well. And we've never really had anyone since Candace who was actually decent on that side. But Sakala's brought it, and even if he's had to develop into that role, I just love the unpredictability of the boy, and I just hope that he can continue to get that starting berth. I can't see anyone displacing him for it. Scott Wright, I don't think so. As much as he turns out very well.
Even Scott Wright last night came on and made a run, didn't he?
A dead end run.
I don't know. I think Scott Wright, he's not as well turned out as Big Cholak Briggsman, is he?
Oh, looks smart, doesn't he, Cholak? My goodness gracious. The hairs look well trimmed and everything. Superb, very tidy player. And there's a lot of folks saying that he's a bit of a gentleman. You know, I don't think we're going to see, for instance, as many red cards for Cholak as you did with Morelos, even yellow cards for that matter. He seems a quite clean player, but then again, you've not seen him at full blast, you know. That's the impression I get of him, and he's well turned out. You're right, and you know he's done four or five interviews over the last few weeks there, so he's done very well for himself that way. You know, nice speaker and a well turned out guy.
He's a gentleman. People say that about me as well, GB.
I've heard that, mate. I heard that. A gentleman. I heard the Ox.
Yes, mate.
I did see last night when Cholak was going off. I think he must have built up a good friendship with Hadji, because I don't know if it's the whole injury situation or something like that, but when Hadji was coming on last night, he gave him a big hug when he came on. So I don't know if there's been a kind of a friendship built up there, because like I says, the two of them have had to kind of get back for injury, and there's been he's doing the door and all that.
What did you make of the 5 subs coming on at once? It looked a bit bizarre, didn't it? It looked like a pre-season friendly, if I'm being honest.
And somebody lost count and all. There was somebody on Twitter that was rhyming up the subs, and they forgot one because there was 5 made. I don't think they were expecting 5 subs to just come on all at one time. But we've kind of criticised the manager for not giving people proper game time, and to be honest, all the players, they all really kind of only deserved about 10 minutes last night. So it was probably the right amount of time that they go, and I can totally understand why the manager hung off last night, because the way the team was playing, everybody on the park was enjoying themselves. So you don't really want to waste it if you want to keep building that confidence. So I think overall, I think all the squad walked away last night being pretty happy with what they got out of the game.
Oh, I think so. You know, even the subs come on, they got involved, they get touches, you know. It was a perfect team performance, squad and the management team. Bobby?
Oh, brilliant. Oh, absolutely outstanding. I can't criticise any one of them. I can't say, oh, well, he wasn't up to it. But I'm just thinking back here now, see if maybe I put that team on the park last Sunday. It might have been a different game. We watching that last night. I don't know. It's so hindsight and knowing it, but the boys were all running last night. They were all. I think it was Bridget said, Hibs didn't know who to pick up. They didn't know this person was going over the left, and then somebody was going in the middle, and so they didn't know who to pick up, and that's where they were losing. They lost it.
Aye, the movement. And that's the change for the previous manager, do you see here? You're not having the 2 wide players, everybody's affecting the game.
Exactly. It was, it ended up getting very predictable under Gio, didn't it? I mean, the fact that teams like St Johnstone and Livingston can work out how to play against us, you know that things aren't going well at that point, Ox. And you have to mix it up against these teams, because most of them are going to play a style of football which is going to be difficult to break down, fairly unenjoyable to watch. Never a good. It's never a good advert, is it, for Scottish football when we have those types of matches? But at least Hibs and Hearts, they try and play a bit, but actually that enables us to do well, doesn't it? And it's pleasing to see. And whatever teams we have coming up in the next few weeks, you just hope that we can get those opportunities to open them up as well. But it's the way that he's been approaching the matches. Yeah, there was a couple of matches early on, people weren't very happy but we were still getting the results, remember? And then we started to play a bit and we started improving in terms of the performances. So we've seen that gradual build-up whilst we still be getting the results. Yes, we know who our biggest contenders are and we know we need to keep pushing the envelope there. But we've got to be pleased overall. We were in a bad position when Gio left in terms of just the turgidness of this style of play. All of that's changed now. And yes, we still need some more personnel, but they should just be slotting in Ox to a system that's hopefully by then going to be fully operational.
GB, you got a point you want to make, mate?
Aye, Ox, just a quick wee point and just to see what the opinions are. Is just, do we need to watch a wee bit that we don't get blindsided with the performance last night? We had a brilliant performance at Tynecastle and then we went into that next game and it was a right lacklustre performance. I think the team owes is the performance last night, and I think the manager's asking the team to perform this Sunday the exact same way, exact same intensity. I mean, to be honest, they showed a level last night that we all expect, and that's all we asked for. I mean, if they put in the work rate that they did last night, then there's no reason for the fans to get on their back. I mean, so I just hope that they're no blindsiding us, that they go out and they've done a performance like that last night, and then come the weekend, it's back to scrape my 1-0 result.
You're speaking of only the players, GB. You're only speaking about the players there.
Just the players overall, Bridge. It's just, I'm just wondering, like Tynecastle, I thought that was us. We're there, we were back, kind of thing, and then it kind of went a wee bit south, and then the results didn't. We still got the results, Bridge, but the performances died away, and I just hope last night's a kind of turning point for the team they know now that's the level of work rate that we need to be against teams. Even if it's a 5 and a 5, like come Sunday, we need to keep just pressing and pressing and pressing. And I just hope we just don't go into the game and it's like the tippy-tappy stuff. I hope we go at them full throttle like we did like Hibs last night.
Can I add to that? Because I would like to say that for me, I want the players to be in there, but I want the management as well. The same management, same coaching, providing they're there. And they've got to learn what did we learn for playing against Hibs midweek? What did they learn? They need to take that and carry the whole lot. The players, the management, everything about the squad all should be the same, with the same mind and the same mindset. They've got to carry that in and keep that tempo up. They've got to play with a tempo. They did it the other night. There's no reason why they can't do it again, because you've got some nice, skillful players there with a bit of pace. And that's what we need to do. Now we need to do just support them. Just support them. You've got quite a good midfield there that are able to go and do the business, and they're not, as long as they're no injured, right? I don't want the weekend to carrying injuries. Just get there and play, and you'll run teams off the park. You'll run teams off the park, and I'm not kidding.
Well, they done that Hibs last night. They gone Bridge for about 75 minutes.
Yeah, they were, pal. Absolutely right.
Ox, I'll just say good night.
All right, Davey.
I'll just say it's been a great show. That's a nurse just came in with my Viagra, so I'll need to take my tablet. And I just...
If that's the case, we'll play your tune and you can come right back in again.
And before I go, I'd just like to put a shout out for Bob J. I hope he's keeping all right, and you get back on that phone till we hear you, big man. Okay, guys, good night and God bless the Glasgow Rangers.
Yeah, go on yourself, pal.
It was great to hear from Bob J, Bridgeman.
Aye, indeed. Brilliant to hear from him. He's a lovely guy, Bob J. Lovely guy.
Oh, one of our characters. One of our many characters, GB here.
Aye, Ox, we're fair built them up earlier years, the characters that's joined the show and stuff like that. And Bob Jer's definitely one of them that we enjoy coming on the show. And again, it was great when I was listening in the other night, hearing him come back on there. As folks said before, the dulcet tones of him. So, aye, Bob Jer, I hope you enjoyed that one last night, buddy.
I bet he did, because he's not a fan of the Hibs. He's not a fan of the Hibs with Bob. You know, I think he's out all right. Yeah, so supposedly.
I think I agree with Bob Jer. That's one team, Hibs, that I just don't like Hibs at all. And my best pal, when I was living there in England, my best pal was a Hibs supporter. And his ears leathered after me many times. I just can't stand that team and club. Terrible people. Sorry.
Oh, you're not alone, Chris. You're not alone. Right, okay. But we'll get a game coming up on Sunday. And I was just about to ask this. Great minds think alike. Do we play the same team on Sunday, Bobby? Or have you got to look at the big picture?
Sunday, I'd look at the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
Get people fit. Whatever team we put on the park on Sunday, we shouldn't get beat. We should not get beat. But if we want to build momentum, play the same team. They've done nothing wrong. So it's a catch-22, isn't it?
Aye. But what would you do? You're the manager. What would you do?
I'd give Tavernier a rest and put a wee boy Divine in. That's what I would do for that game.
Mm-hmm.
And give somebody, I don't know, because it could come, if it puts on a ranked team and they happen to get beat, I'll come back to bite him. So he's in a no-win situation here. So he needs to concentrate and let's keep momentum going. Let's just go out and take 6 or 7 and keep it going to the next game. That's what I say. Put on the same team.
All right, so you've changed your mind.
No, I put the boy Divine, but just keep his... Divine should be able to take care of them, but just keep the same team.
All right, yeah. Juicy?
It's a very important tournament for us, Ox. So we've got to go in with that mindset that we need to win this tournament, and it may only be Rafe Rovers, but you play your best team, and then you take players off as appropriate. And I don't want to be seeing us starting with some heavily changed team, which we've already seen in this tournament this season, where we've toiled a bit. So you go all in. This is our best chance of winning something this season. So no, I do not want to see Kamara, Lundstrom and Scott Wright starting this game. By all means, bring players on for a run out later, but you got to put this to bed. I want a nice, relaxing weekend, okay? And keep the blood pressure down. Nice and straightforward performance on Sunday with some flair. Beautiful.
Bridgman?
As I said about earlier, as long as there's nobody injured, none of the players are no knocks, and if they're straight ready for the game and they're fit, then they should all go in. The whole team, as it was, every single one in and play. And then if we were fortunate enough to get a few goals in front, then you can start to bring the other players on. Personally speaking, start with the same team. Gives the team confidence, the squad's got confidence, and they should be able to march on with pace. That's what we want. We've said it for years in here. We need pace in the team, and we need to keep it in the team. And we need to make sure the guys with pace are in the team and don't leave them on the bench.
Aye, with Sakala, and obviously Kent's no electric, but he's got decent pace with a good change of pace. Cholak's more mobile than Morelos. And then Kent, Todd Cantwell and Raskin covered the ground quicker than the rest of the midfield. All of a sudden, GB, we have got pace in my team. More pace in my team.
Aye, Ox, and I think we're going to need that against sticky teams as well, Ox. So for me, again, go with the same team, win the game first, then make your changes. Like I says, there's plenty of time to key guys minutes in a game like that if the game's done and dusted. So get the boy Raskin more minutes. I think if that boy gets a mere understanding, I mean he's the way he wins the ball back, Ox, so cleanly and stuff like that. Again, if he just keeps doing that and keeps building his confidence in about the team and stuff like that. Cantwell as well, we touched on him earlier about saying about how the killer pass, perfect game for him to find these killer passes at the weekend. Not just for me, Ox, just stick with the same team. As long as Jack had a fantastic performance and stuff like that, we obviously need to watch what we do with him. But again, if he's fit and ready and he's willing to go, I would just keep going with him. But he's about the only one I would say is a bit dodgy to start the weekend. But the rest of the team, please just keep going with him. Cholak as well, the form that he's in the now in fashion. Keep building that partnership. Keep giving us the goals that we want.
All right, we got a message from Tom Lawrence that they sent out for him. A social media post. Obviously, he's tried to work through his injury. It's no work. He's had to get surgery. It's gone well. It's as if he's ahead of the curve. We wish him all the best. And listen, he started his Rangers career well, Bobby. And we hope we get him fit and he can improve our team.
Yeah, I can't wait. He comes back. I liked what he done when he first came in, and I can't wait for the boy to come back because he was to me he was a trier.
Aye, he's got a bit about him, mate. Again, he's got ability. He gets about the pitch. I don't know if he's electric, blistering pace, but he can shoot and he's got a dig. He can dig. He's no fear to get stuck in it.
You know who he puts me in mind of, but this other player didn't really work out for us. He puts me in mind of a Dorrans. That kind of same movement. Although he didn't work out for us, but when Dorrans played for West Brom, he's a real good player.
Aye, well, he got that injury against that. Remember he got assaulted against Kilmarnock, wasn't it? Never really played against, did he? Again, did he?
No.
The guy that assaulted him still playing.
Aye, he plays with Kilmarnock still. I don't know. Aye. I think I'm in the camp. I would have been saying, take them all out and protect them and we'll win easy against Race Rovers. But I think the people turning up there on Sunday, I think they would like to see that team go for at least 45 minutes. Blitz them and then make 5 substitutes at half time. Do you see?
Well, make them earlier than that if they need to. As JB was saying, you've already won the match by that point. But to go back to what I was saying, this is a very important tournament for us now, and fans will state their mind, and rightly so, if the selection is something that ends up being a turgid performance. And I know everyone was very disappointed with the starting lineup in the League Cup final. Look, if he'd started Cantwell and he'd started Raskin, doesn't guarantee a win, but it probably guaranteed a lot less criticism on the manager's part. And I know it's not supposed to be a popularity contest, but sometimes you can make your life a little bit easier. So I fully say go in with your best team, your team that's in form, then make some changes. So 2 or 3 goals up. I'm not disrespecting Rafe here, but I think this is what we've got to expect. Then make some changes. Bring Alfredo on. Let him have a run around. We want to finish this season well. And I don't want to be seeing us starting matches on the back foot. And I'm so sick and tired of going 1 down in matches this season.
I'm thinking last night, GP.
I did, Ox, and I was tearing my hair out. Because when that happened at the 1-0, I'm like, Rangers, what are you doing? I mean, it was. I was like, here we go. This is just the sign of the times. But I mean, great character, Ox, and our captains took the heat again the last couple of weeks. Big man steps up, bangs away a perfect penalty, Ox, and even when he scored after the penalty, he's jogging back and he's rolling the arms, he's getting the team going and stuff like that. So I mean, like you say, credit where credit's due, Ox. He helped drive that team into a 4-1 result last night.
I agree, mate. There wasn't a bad player on the pitch. Not one. You know, and it was great to see Hadji getting some minutes, Scotty Arfield getting on. You know, even if I'm being honest, the last 2 games, because he's had a rest, I even think Lundstrom's movement looks better. If that makes sense, Bobby.
I've nobody to criticise for last night. Last night was the kind of performance where Bobby's screaming out for. But my point I'm going to make to you now is, do you not think Rangers are actually better away from home in the Beale area and what they are at Ibrox? Because the crowd are too quick to go in the back at Ibrox. They seem to have a wee bit more. You Aberdeen, Livingston, Hearts, Hibs. You tell me the last team we dominated at Ibrox.
Aberdeen, that's the only good performance I see.
Right, yes. So, but what other team have we really... We've always been kind of go at, but that tells you the team's got spirit. If that was in Van Bronckhorst's day, we would never come back for any games. Never have.
No. There's 2 reasons for that. I think you mentioned it right. Obviously, go away, they get the different backing. It's a different kind of backing they get for the away support. Ibrox can be a tough gig. We're looking to get entertained. We're looking for results and entertainment. We haven't played well this season apart from the Aberdeen game, GB.
No, Ox, what I say is we're craving it. We've been, and that's what I was saying earlier. The performance last night has got to give confidence to, especially the travelling fans. Ox, I mean, they're turning up in the wet and the cold and all that, and they get a performance like that. That's all they're asking for. I mean, if Rangers put in a performance like that and they're hitting shots and it's ricocheting and it just doesn't fall, then we as fans will accept it in a sense, because they're like, well, we tried, it wasn't your night kind of thing. But when you're turning up and it's dead slow and the plays build up slow and then we're getting away stupid passes and stuff like that, then that's when the fans get on the back. But if we just put the same philosophy as last night into the games for the rest of the season, Ox, I think we'll be fine. And we'll see what our managers try to build by the end of the season, mate. And teams should be worried, Ox, as well. Teams, the way we played last night, Rafe Rovers now will be sitting there going, oh my God. I mean, because see what it says, I mean, that's Hibs. That's a top Scottish side. Not able to compete with us last night, and we're going into this game at the weekend. And as much as they might want to sit back and be hammer throwers and all the rest of it, that says they've got a game in their hands at the weekend.
Yeah, we've also got to remember too, GB, that teams that come to Ibrox that are deliberately try to interrupt and make their game bad to get the fans against us, you know. So quieten the crowd and then watch the Rangers disintegrate when the crowd start booing them and that, you know. That's the tradition with teams against us. We need to stop that, or we'll get a handle on it and get it ready. We should never have a poor game. We really and truly, money and time that's going into our squad in general, that should be done and dusted for me. I'm not saying we're not going to lose games or lose points, but we should never be so poor that the squad, the Bears start booing the team. I'd like to see the end of that, and there's only one way it can be done, as we did last night. Continue that, please. There it is there. Just go for it.
Well said.
Yeah, I don't think there's any. You know, even if we are one doing at half time, it's time to get behind the team, Bridger.
100%. Keep behind them all the time.
Yeah, Juicy.
Always get behind the team.
Aye. I think the backing away from home slightly different, Bobby, if I'm being honest.
They don't go in the players' back as much as if you go to Ivers, you put a bad pass and and then you go, try and encourage your players, encourage them to try and get better. Don't 2 minutes into the game you can go into a player's back, but try and encourage them. That's what I try and do. I try and encourage the players. No go in the back. No unless you have Scott Wright coming on when you're losing 2-0. You say, what's the point there?
I know. It doesn't do the player any good, does it?
No. What player wants to go in the park and his first touch of the ball gets booed? Not a player in the world wants that. And coming back, I'll make a wee point to you. I'm going to the bookies more and I'm putting this is better on south sides if some of the callers would want to put it on. I'm going to the bookies more and put 2 on Kolak and 2 on Sakala. There you go. I don't know how much that's going to pay.
But they're going to score 2 goals each?
Yes. Yes. That's how confident I'm.
Mm-hmm. That one's for you, Bobby. We've reached that time of the evening.
Okay, mate.
Cheers, Bobby boy.
It's a privilege to be on here, mate. Right, thanks a lot. Cheers.
Hope you enjoy it, Bobby.
Cheers, I do. Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Juicy Bear, over to you, mate.
Oh, it's been excellent. Good guys on here tonight, as always. Men of culture, men of class. Fantastic. Thank you ever so much for having me on, Ox.
Yeah. GB.
Brilliant night, Ox. That's his great callers, great points, great tunes. Had everything. Had the Talkie Boobs and Rangers all together, mate. Class night, mate. And thanks to the three amigos for joining us tonight.
Bridgman.
Oh, what can I say, Ox? Brilliant night, just fantastic. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm sure everybody, all of us and the callers and the people listening, all enjoyed it. And can I just say to other people all over the world, the Rangers fans that are listening in here, this is our stadium, this is our wee radio station, and it's to support the Rangers. And everybody that wants to support the Rangers could come onto this station, phone in every night, and enjoy yourself, because that's what we do. We please us. Keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers are real. Keep it going.
I think Bobby and Davey have phoned in. Great to hear for the two of them. Great characters, both. GB, Juicy and Bridgman. Box and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. Everybody for listening. What a difference for the Rangers win. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Oh, every other Saturday's my half day off, and it's off to the match I go. Happily we wandered down the Copeland Road, me and my wee pal Joe. We love to see the lasses with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score. Me, oh my. Oh, we love to see them cry. We love to see the lasses with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score. We've won the Scottish League almost every time the League Cups assemble too. We get some exhibitions in the Scottish Cup. We are the Cup winners too. And when the Rangers win the European Cup, as we've done with the one before, we'll gather round the Ibrox 50,000 strong to give the boys an Ibrox uproar. Me, oh, me, oh, me, oh, my. Oh, we love to see them cry. We love to see the lads with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score. Me, oh, me, oh, me, oh, my. Oh, we love to see them cry. We love to see the lasses with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score.